Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rutgers Stadium, home of the Queen's Pride, this year's host for the All-Star Week. Joining me tonight for the Rookie All-Star Game is Matt Lewis. Matt, thank you for coming out to Queens for this game.
Thank you for having me, Ryan. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I've survived the first two events. We have two more to go. I'm looking forward to see how these rookies stack up. We saw a lot of these rookies at the start of the season and the rookie combine challenge, and now we're getting to see them 6 months later. Just and some players that
Yeah.
weren't part of that, and see how they stack up.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's one of the last opportunities that we'll have, if you think about it, to see these guys and gals play on the court and give it their all in a game that, while it is an exhibition game, it is a unique opportunity for them to showcase what they have and what they've been able to learn and pick up over the past 6 months or so. Some of these players are already on the starting lineup for their respective teams, and so I'm really excited to talk more about them as we get into the game. And this is, I mean, it's going to be an enjoyable evening. I've got my coffee, my sparkling water. We're good to go.
Yeah, I think the players are ready too. Let's cut down to the court.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, ready and fire. And it is LeBlanc that will pass over to Marlowe after the tip-off was won by, I believe, Stavaničić, but the pass gets intercepted by Rowan Thane, who passes it over to Smythes. Sorry, Bethany Smiths. Passes to Terry, and he will be the first
I
to get
think
the shot off.
Soren would be a little upset to be compared to
What's that?
that. Bethany is not on the court right now. That's her son.
Oh no, I've already screwed up.
You're already fired.
Oh my goodness. Well, Soren, I am very sorry. We'll be talking later, I'm sure. Um, Regardless, the West were the first to score, I believe.
East.
Sorry, the East. What is wrong with me?
It's okay.
Knock me, knock me in the head.
It's all
Let's
that.
restart.
It's all that quote unquote sparkling water I see you drinking over there.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know
little
what?
red. I think that's wine you've been drinking.
It's black raspberry. It's purple in honor of being in Queens tonight.
Well, speaking of, I think we'll blame the jersey colors not being my preferred red and blue. I know that makes me an old man. They deviated from the normal standard color breakdown, but we see, like I said, the East early with the three. And I want to point out the fact the East has three players from the same team represent tonight. Obviously, you mentioned Thane. Terry was the one who hit that three to get us started here, and Angie Graves as well. But though we'll be seeing Angie coming off the bench.
Yeah, so with the West in control of the ball here, they're about to get the time clock violation. So it will be going back to the East. So not much in the first couple minutes here aside from that one shot.
Yeah, I mean the shot clock violation coming in thanks to the block there. I believe that was Avery with the stop with the shot clock winding down. And I mean you can't say the West is missing team cohesion either, because they have three players representing the Edmonton Excavators, as we see a block there sent out of bounds.
Yeah, and the Edmonton Excavators have two players that got nominated to the All-Star Week this year. And that would be, Hayden alongside the small forward Deontay Lavelle.
And you can't forget about Arsana Kayev either.
That's
So
true.
three.
Yeah, two forwards and a swing. And a miss, actually, as the East picks up the ball, sends it over to Rowan for a long three, no good. So Lavelle gets under it, passes it down to Hallie Leonards of the Winnipeg Voyagers. Dodges to his left, hands it off to the Giraffe, back to Leonards.
Dane was wide open too.
And
You saw that transition was so smooth, but it has been cold. Matt, we are almost 4 minutes into this game and we've had one basket fall. Maybe we need a timeout. Reset everything, restart the clock over, pretend like it's a new game.
yeah, restart the game. Let's just well, speak of the devil, that was Avery Karen Snyder with that basket. So now it's 5-0.
Yeah, but 8 minutes again.
I should be
We 4
speaking.
minutes into the game and 2 baskets down. For a rookie all-star game, this is turning into a high school basketball score thus far.
Well, you know, as they always say, don't look too hard at a court or the mirror will reflect what you don't wish to see, which is totally a quote that has been said before.
Guys, can we get a sample of that sparkling water just to make
No, it's
sure?
mine.
Okay. Well, you know
It's
what?
good too.
Make
Want
sure
some?
I would like to be able to drive home tonight. I hope you're taking a ride share. The shot clock wind down. Hamilton gets the pass
Ooh.
dished after the screen. The nice pick there got him open. The defense did not switch well, and that's going to be something that I think we're going to see a lot tonight. These players, obviously, besides the ones who share a team, don't play together. They're not going to have that defensive instinct to know when the switch is. We see a turnover there again. Lots of steals coming out for the East thus far. And right
yeah,
back.
and you know what? Right there, Jet Marlowe intercepting that one.
Well, it's funny.
Kookaburra
Jet
for
Marlowe,
the-
I'll say Jet Marlowe could have been on this East team, but was traded to Santa Ana before the season start. And the wide open three from Leonard's, the Rabbit, bringing it back within a couple points.
Yeah, and the most significant basket that the West has gotten so far. Now, I will say this: when it comes to Jet Marlowe, you know, we see that every once in a while with the draft happening, and then a player gets traded immediately after, going from the Biloxi Venom over to the Santa Ana Spectrums. And while the Spectrums haven't had the best of seasons, you can argue that Marlowe has picked up a lot of experience starting on the line for them in some situations. So he's earned his right to be on the All-Star team for the West, in my opinion.
Oh, no doubt. And I mean, you have to keep in mind with the draft, Marlowe fell quite far. And I think Santa Ana, after their free agency kind of fell apart, they did not retain the point guard that they were expecting. They had to reassess, and they went and got one from the draft that had been a pretty well-rated player. However, had fallen because point guards often are not in demand during the draft outside being, you know, the elite of the elite. And they found someone that could come in and start right away.
There was a lot of drama this past week over players falling on their knees and getting hurt. Avery taking a little bit of a fall there to catch the foul.
The and one is good, though, from the Raccoon. I mean, obviously, Lorelei Hayden, part of that 3-team shuffle that got Jet Marlowe to Santa Ana. She ended up in Edmonton, obviously, is Luca down low in the post. I was going to say, looking at the starting lineup for each conference, I believe all 5 of them, well, total all 10 are starters on their respective teams.
Yes, Stevanichich has had time to play for the Bikers as center in the 5 spot. And, of course, the Bikers have had a great season, as is expected every year. But the Giraffe has been able to make his impact known immediately for that team, which is always what you hope for when you pick up a big from the draft. As West call a timeout, the first timeout of this game, with about 5:34 left in the first.
Yeah, I say I think if I recall quickly, Dakota traded back up into the first round or traded up in the first round to be able to grab Luca. A stretch for getting dragged into a Biker's core that likes to shoot the ball is LeBlanc.
Yeah.
The giant rabbit elevates with the clean pass to the post.
Another top 10 big from this year's draft, for currently playing for the Kahunas. I should say is playing for the Kahunas. I don't have any insider information, I swear.
I really hope they wouldn't trade Rex. I think Rex is going to be a big point of Hawaii as they continue to redevelop. Obviously, they have the 2 top selections from last year. They have to consider what will be happening. Barlow and Martin going into their free agency, if they can retain them after their rookie contracts expire. You know, building through the draft is difficult, as Avery, mid-ranger and quick in the shot clock, 16 points. The scoring has finally picked up. 4 minutes into the game, only 5 points have been scored. In the next 4 minutes, we've gotten 22 points. So could have used that earlier.
Yeah, I've been impressed by what I've seen from Avery so far with regards to this game. But, you know, the Pittsburgh Keystones are no team to sneeze at this year. And I feel like we haven't been able to say that in more recent times. So the impact that the Rakunas had at the Keystones, and with their division being as tough as it is, again, another player that's very definitely deserving of being here tonight.
Yeah, I think people had kind of ran off the Keystones for a while, and then I slipped into the playoffs last year off the back of excellent play from Margot Warrior and Nur Awada. You know, the point guard and center really, I believe Nur, I can't remember if it was last season or the season before that came over from Hawaii. But either way, we see some bench players coming in.
Yep, and for the West is Kingsley Fletcher and Viktor Bukov. As Fletcher, I believe, with the ball currently, needs to get a shot off, but is being well guarded.
Well, the Corgi has some difficulty generating separation there, one-on-one.
Maybe it's, you know, the jump isn't quite there when you're dealing with Corgi proportions. I don't know. Maybe.
Do not let Lady Black hear you say that.
I'm a canine. I can say that.
She scares me a little bit. Is Wesker going to come up with the strip there, and the Cheetah fast down the court, but defense stays in stride. Bent.
It's Archie Bent getting blocked by Arsenukayev. Or you have a better handle on that name, so I'll let you say it.
You can take the Polish players. I'll take Arsenukayev.
Oh yeah, Wojciech Piotrowski and Stepan Blazejowski. Saucepan.
Look, Rye Burr got his rye bread nickname because of me, and clearly I have a food thing going on. A food theme with my nickname. Right, I'm going.
And at the line, the score is 17-11 with the East currently in the lead. The second of the free throws is no good. Will be intercepted by the big Roy Lassiter. Looks huge on the court. The Stork is nothing to sneeze at for the swashbucklers.
And the big dunk there from the Dragon. Is a long 3. Oh my lord. That is well past the 3-point line. Managing to get that to fall over the defense. I think most defenders aren't going to play that close to them. Even at that distance. They don't expect you to hit that kind of 3.
But those are the type of throws that you hope to see at a game like this, where, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, you want to show your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, show off a little bit.
With the block there, passing it over to Archie. Under the hoop is Jace Gwyler getting blocked by Bukov, and he'll be on the line now.
Yeah, the Arctic Fox getting called for the contact there. And definitely want to see some... You don't want to see too tough of a defense. Obviously, you don't want anyone getting injured. This is not a serious game. There's no real benefit to playing too hard. So you got to be mindful of these fouls.
Yeah, we're all here tonight to have, you know, a little bit of a good time. And of course, as I say that, Archie Bent taking advantage of someone asleep at the wheel, but Damon Wesker with the huge dunk there. Loves that for him. It's a 24-13 game now.
Yeah, the West falling behind here.
They're playing a little bit conservatively, looking for plays to set up. I think at the same time, they're all using, I guess, the conservative of the defense to get a little bit of space, but they're not finding it with these shots.
Yeah, and the passing lane just getting jumped on constantly. Saucepan with the ball. 1-on-1 against Lassiter. That is not a good matchup, but it's going to be Wesker not able to convert the basket down low.
Aslan passing over to Victor, who gets it to Rory.
Oh, stepped out of bounds.
Court, but that was out of bounds, I guess.
I think Lassiter lost track of where he was on the floor, and his stepped on the line. Refs aren't going to sleep on that.
A rookie mistake.
Look.
What? It's not wrong.
Great three. Big three there. Look, you are not beating the alcohol drinking allegations right now with that kind of joke.
Read this can. What does it say?
May contain up to 2% alcohol.
May is the key word there. Thank you.
What I'm learning is you might be a lightweight. As Archie trying to keep the three-point train going, can't. Shot clock only separating by about 6 seconds, so the West will have a shot here, and the East should have a chance to answer.
Over the Victor, they're doing a lot of passing here. Aslan with the final shot there, no good. And so Bent will get it down the field to Koa Cross. Just came in over to Staban. Archie with the ball, going to take it up himself. One last miracle shot, no good. And the West, a little bit of a, I guess, a upsetness there, but that's the end of the first quarter.
They only put up 16 points in the quarter. That's a little bit below what you would be hoping to walk away with. I think we're going to see both teams giving their stars a chance, and Avery just gets left wide open. That's the West not falling asleep on defense there.
Like I was saying earlier in the first quarter, Avery has been impressing so far on this court. Definitely using tonight as certainly a player that I don't think has been getting a lot of conversation. Certainly will be after this game if they keep playing like they are right now.
Dragon with a three there to answer back. So speaking of, we apparently are turning into a three-point contest here. Who is your front runner for Rookie of the Year?
Oh, man. Well, I think there is a lot of opportunity for that still to change, even though, we're nearing kind of the latter half of the season, right? We usually mark All-Star Week as being one of those games or one of those weeks that mark the official halfway point. But I think Deontay Lavelle has an opportunity to proclaim himself. Ivani Bragances, we haven't seen the Alicorn much tonight yet. I'm hoping to see a little bit more from them. And then, of course, Luka. We talked about him. He's had a strong impact so far in his rookie year for the Bikers. And the Bikers, as far as a team are concerned, are looking to be one of the top seeds of the West. So I think all three of those players have a standing chance. And of course, there are probably others as well that I'm failing to name who will come after me in the comments after this game is over.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my... I actually think it's going to be one of the East players, either Soren or Rowan. Rowan being one of the few guards averaging a double-double thus far at this point of the season. Now, obviously, Queens... It depends on how much you consider the team's success, but you have to remember Queens are basically playing one of the youngest starting lineups in the league with two rookies and then two second-year players with Carly Diggs and Colquhoun. So How much do you give that? And ooh, Avery, tough three on the quick spin around. But it is a... Oh, and it's going to be Luca answering back, showing why he's a threat on the bikers as a stretch fur.
Yeah, Queens and Hawaii both. You could argue the same case for them. They're one of the youngest. Wow.
Okay, now
I'm
they're showing
sorry.
off.
That was Avery again with the dunk. Okay, Oh, and they're going to take a timeout too. The West is getting a little bit too far behind for their liking, and I appreciate that we're going to have a little bit more time here to talk about this question, because I think it's a great question. I think we both have named some players. I like to see the Rookie of the Year being from a team that has made an immediate impact or changed the trajectory of a team. Now, Queens has still a little bit of a ways to go in terms of breaking this streak that they have going. We're here in Queens tonight. It's awesome that they get to host these events, but they have not had a playoff berth in a while, whereas we're going to see some teams like the Keystones we mentioned earlier, like the Kahunas, they might squeeze in as the 8th seed, return to the playoffs this year, building off the initial changes that they made last year, bringing in some of the younger players that they have. And I think Rex LeBlanc adds to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Koa Cross coming in from Bangor if you're stealing them to Hawaii.
No, that was a misnomer.
Petrovsky going to get the second missed free throw pulled down. I think you can make an argument for perhaps any of the starters in this rookie all-star game. I think there have been a couple players that have started. I mean, obviously, about Ivani in Seattle has kind of found her way into the starting lineup. I think I would argue that Luca and Ivani perhaps not as much, because I don't feel like they were a full year starter. I like to see my Rookie of the Year be someone who started the entire year, not necessarily someone who had to start off the bench before eventually earning their spot.
Well, every player should have to earn their spot. I think that's another wonderful question to maybe tuck in behind the ear a little bit. Whoa. Yeah, I just some of these shots just take your breath away. They completely disrupt your train of thought. Rex LeBlanc there with a magnificent dunk. Makes it a 13-point game.
It's more of how well he moves. I mean, I wonder how much of his fluff is fur versus, actual mass. But he moves so well in the post. And Petrovsky, the big brown bear, cleaning up with a high jump to dunk it down one pod. Oh, it's a dunk contest now. We went from a 3-point contest to a dunk contest here, Matt.
And that will be a timeout for the East now. They want to make sure that they maintain their 13-point lead because, I don't know, bragging rights, but at the same time, you take these moments to clean up a few things, do whatever you can. I do feel as though somebody that we've named tonight, however, will be Rookie of the Year. I just have that feeling in my chest. And you make some good points, Ryan.
Well, I mean, I'd hope someone we say tonight wins. If someone who did not make the Rookie All-Star game wins Rookie of the Year, I will drink your sparkling water.
Well, that was the quietest dunk I've ever seen. That was Angie Graves there with 2. The Arctic Wolf out of, home court here.
Yeah, she doesn't have to show off. One of the last players voted in, maybe got a little bit of the home fan base vote coming out and helping getting her into this contest. So
yeah, and
ISO.
We didn't mention that the position that Angie has tonight. Obviously, Queens loving the idea that they have 3 rookies on the floor. Feels like a home affair in that regard, as they take now what is a 17-point lead, 44-27, with about 6.5 minutes left in the second. But that comes off the pause of Scott Hayes declining to be here tonight. It was coming out later that for mental health reasons, they declined the invite and decided to take the week off to kind of focus on themselves.
Yeah, the East now up by 20 at this point, and they've just been letting Avery shoot. I'd perhaps let some others. Ooh, good answer back from the
Lorelai Hayden.
yeah, step back with the screen to get open, but still, time to let some of the other players have their shots. Let them try and rack up their points. I mean, assists are nice to have, but oh, great dish down to Angie. That is that team chemistry. Thane to Graves, down low in the post, threading the needle.
Yeah, I mean, we don't usually focus on the assist, right? We focus on the dunk or the big shot, but that was only possible because of Rowan's pass there.
And I mean, it shows why he's one of the few players averaging doubles in terms of assists. Now, LeBlanc showing he has some range, not just from 1 foot out. That was about a 10-footer. Now
Yeah,
there
is
is
about back paw too.
yeah,
Back football.
There is one player on this court that is I find interesting their situation. Jesus Hamilton, drafted by Plymouth, and arguably, I mean, we know we've seen him start, but he's on a very crowded roster at the big position.
Take a break.
Yeah, and Plymouth, not even the only player here tonight. Wojciech being the other. Sorry, Wojciech plays for the Moonshiners. I don't know what I'm talking about these days.
You see green jersey, you assume Plymouth. It's okay.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should just throw this can away. What do you think?
Yes, I've been wondering how long how that may contain 2% was, if it was Best Buy date. What is that Best Buy date on there, by the way? How far past it has it gone?
It says April 20. There's a smudge on the last 2 numbers. What do you think?
Oh God, yeah. Go ahead and get rid of that. I've seen a funny story. I was helping bake, and I found. I found. Well, yeah, brewing about the foul. I found a vanilla extract container buried in the back of my fridge that was old enough to drink. In the sense that it was at least 21 years old. It had long evaporated. So remember, people, check your Best Buy dates and don't forget about the stuff that's buried at the back of your closet because it might start growing legs.
Now, I hope it was like true vanilla extract because you know what they do.
That is a slanderous lie that is propagated by the vanilla industry.
Right. Well,
it is a
Avery is
synthetic
still
chemical.
proving that the raccoon got a lot. We're gonna move on from vanilla extract story.
Unless someone's name is vanilla extract here. Who do you want to name vanilla extract? Keeping my food theme of nicknames. And one opportunity. Thane gonna get called for the contact.
Someone who maybe Avery's earned this nickname. Is extracting a lot of points out of thin air, seemingly.
Yeah, well, I'm putting up a lot of points for the East. West falling behind almost 20 points here. Lavelle gonna try to bring it back. The Jaguar. Edmonton, middle of the pack in the West. The and one is good. I
feel like. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
I will go ahead. No, the Excavators have definitely gotten better from last year, and I think there is things to be said about the moves that they made to their bench, and certainly they had a good draft this year by picking up Deontay. They wouldn't have been able to pick up Deontay if not for where they were, coming out of last year. But at the same time, that has made the division way more competitive. And if you look at the stats, the Mountain West, while Dakota has a significant lead over the Excavators and the Howlers, we're seeing that the division itself is way more competitive than what paper shows. And I think that's a great next question to ask here for you, Ryan. There's been a lot of conversation this week, being All Star Week, um, West versus East. Do you see a particular conference that is quote unquote stronger than the other?
That is always such a weird question, in my opinion, because you're gonna get to see. We joked back in the days, we see a great backdoor cut from the West to pull it back within 14. That was Lavelle, in fact. Uh,
There you go.
Not deviating from your question, but there have been quote unquote divisions of death. I mean, we remember the old days as LeBlanc, the rabbit, the fast break.
Ooh.
It's the and one. How
And one.
how is Rex able to keep pace with Thane chasing them down? I do not know. That rabbit speed is sneaky.
Yeah, I see a rivalry forming between the dog and the rabbit here.
Oh, and another
And Lavelle
turnover.
intercepting that.
So many
I
turnovers.
see you, Deontay.
Uh,
But it will go back to shot. Stepan under the hoop there gets it back for the East.
but yeah, we've joked about divisions of death in the West for a long time. That there were a division that seemed to always have a record worse than their level, just because all the teams were so good that they kind of kept each other in checks record-wise. I would argue that the East has had that in a more quiet sense with the Lorraine, Baltimore, and now Pittsburgh kind of sneaking back in. That division is really one of those ones where every year it seems like there's been one or two games separating the division winner, and it makes them look weaker than they actually are. So
Right.
Do I think there's a stronger conference on average? Yes. Do I think it matters in the end? No, because what matters is who has the best team. And you can have
Yeah.
the stronger average, but the best team might be clearly in the other division, other conference.
And I think it's always important. At the end of the day, you play to get into the playoffs, and then technically it starts. Everybody's record goes back to 0-0. The real, you know, who's better than who starts at that point. And then you can start to make your comparisons when you get the two finals teams. As LeBlanc there with a quick 2 makes it a 10-point game. We're getting a little bit back to reality here, I feel, from the West.
Yeah, they've cranked up the scoring. Remember, they came into this quarter with only 16 points. They put up 31 thus far, so a much better showing, and Rex has been leading the way for them. The teardrop, no good, and the cleanup as well from the Rabbit. Archie, 1 of 7 tonight.
Yeah, Rex and Lavelle here, I feel, are giving it their all in this exhibition game. They don't want to go into the half here being down by a multi-digit score.
And with the shot clock against him, the Jaguar are able to make a smooth shot, and the field goal percentage has crept back up. 50% for the West, 54 for the East. Gap is closing, as you said, is Petrovsky dishing to Wesker. It's a tough shot, though, and it will leave the West with the final possession of this quarter and a half unless they take a shot early.
Yeah, Hallie trying to get under the hoop there with the alley-oop and gets it. So it is now 51-57. We'll see if we get a last shot here from the East. And you better do that, Archie. There you go.
Yeah,
Wow.
not able to convert, though. And a second earlier, and they might have had a second chance opportunity to put it back. But wow, what a quarter for the West. A 6-point game here when they were down by 20 at one point. Or had a 20-point lead, I should say.
It was a little bit of a sigh of relief, I think, at least in the part of the fans who are here from the West, fans of the West, though we are dominated by the East here being in Queens tonight. We go into the half, 57-51, with the East on top with that excellent first quarter. Avery Karen Snyder leading the pack with some long shots, some dunks from Rex LeBlanc help the West catch back up.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at the stats, but we'll dive in pretty quickly as well. But I think, yeah, to your point, for the East, it really has been Avery being given a lot of openings. And I want to see others kind of get the opportunity to shine as Soren really hasn't too much, but 7 assists. And I think a lot of them have been to Avery. Uh, Hamilton as well, perfect from the floor. Archie's been struggling. He's been taking the shots, but just not able to convert them. Unfortunately, the other Raccoon kind of bringing down the average of the Raccoon performance here.
Yeah, 2 blocks from Damon Wesker. And Luca with his own 2 blocks, 16 minutes on the floor with 8 minutes.
8 points.
Only 1 point by Hayden, but at the same time has been able to kind of make their impact uh, with some rebounds.
I was gonna say the West has spread the ball a little bit more in terms of scoring. I mean, you saw Rex and Lavelle with double digits, both of them, and Luca wasn't far behind at 8 points either. Oh my lord, yeah. Lavelle, the Jaguar with the quick pause again, and Luca, quick 3 to put him to 11 now. Wow.
Yeah, almost like you called it. He heard 8 points from somewhere in thin air. Is like, I don't have just 8 points. What you talking about, Ryan?
Well, and we've been talking about how he's found his way into the lineup for Dakota, and you know his play style. I mean, he plays for a coach who built his career on the 3-point game. The leading scorer in the league right now is Lorenzo Valerio, and then you obviously have Silvius and Lawyers. We see a great 3 from Leonard's there, deep, wide open. So you got 4 of the arguably pretty good 3-point shooters on the roster. How do you guard the perimeter? And it's allowed him to, you know, he's the 4th scoring option, but he's a pretty good scorer for being in the 4th.
Yeah, and certainly as the years have gone on, we've seen the need for perimeter defense. That was a huge foul on Jesus Hamilton there.
Charging. I don't expect a charge call usually in the rookie all-star game, but it happens.
Yeah, and about 100 angry fans are probably texting him and letting him know exactly how they feel about that. As Rex comes in and reties this game with another big pod slam dunk. Jesus!
That was a Hail Mary pass. How do you thread it the entire length of the court to Jesus? The Lynx thankfully has the long wingspan to pull that down, but that's a football quarterback throw there if I've seen one in an FBA game.
And was that Smith's with that inbound?
I believe so. I mean, that was a huge throw from the bar now, that was.
All right. Thane with the rebound there under the hoop. We'll bring it back up. Passes the Soren, hoping to get his first points of the night. This is totally Soren and not Bethany. Back over to Thane. For a long 3.
You saw the screen there. That was a perfect play with the screen. Again, that kind of chemistry helping know what Thane wanted from the screen to get that separation to pull the 3 ball and get the East back up, and the quick teardrop from Lavelle. We saw 11 points in the first half. We'll see if he can match that here in the second, as the West still trying to take their first lead of the game.
That's true, and I think the East strategy here for the second half will be just to have a little bit more fun with it. That will be considered a 2 by Karen Snyder. But look at them. Look how many points they've scored already tonight. They are on fire at the moment. Well-deserved break. I think they will be letting a few other East players get some time to shine here. And I think that makes a lot of sense.
Hopefully, like I said, it's one thing to go the hot paw, but at the same time, you definitely want to be playing a game that, you know, everyone wants to at least score a bucket in their all-star game, even if it's only the rookie all-star game. As the foul there will send the West to the line for 2.
And Thane's 3rd.
German Shepherd racking them up against the Jaguar.
Yeah, you know, it's how we do. We're in Queens. This is his home court. And don't forget it.
Well, hopefully the West doesn't embarrass him on his home court. I'll have to go home
Yeah,
tonight
you
after
know,
the game. He doesn't get to go back to a hotel like a lot of these players.
yeah, we've seen obviously huge play from Rex LeBlanc tonight. Deontay Lavelle has had an impact. I think there's an unsung hero there um, in Stevanovic. It's Karen Snyder. Is that him back on the court? Oh, Jesus, though, with that one.
Yeah,
Makes
he
it a 5-point game.
threaded the needle past the defense. You saw threw the arms up trying to knock the ball off the passing lane, but right to Jesus, and he dunked it down. Back to LeBlanc, fouled. Speaking of, the third for Hamilton now. The Lynx arguing over the contact.
I've seen some really physical shots from the Rabbit that the East has had to kind of just sacrifice themselves and be there. Hopefully to slow them down a little bit. Because right now, as the game gets to be a 4-point game, like you were saying earlier, the West just wants to see that lead. Make this actually a one-shot game, which it now is. So we'll see how this goes as the East takes it back up forward, passing it to Avery, who's back on the court.
Another illegal. Oh, that's for Hamilton. He got charged, called for a charge,
Okay.
called for an illegal screen.
I'm sorry, when you roll all the way around on the floor, I don't know about that. Do we need to start,
Hey,
calling out the flop
oh
as we see
my
him?
Lord. They don't call that though. Rex sent Hamilton to the ground.
Oh man, I think there is something we're not hearing from up here in the booth.
That was I mean, and now the steal as they tried to dish down to Hamilton in the post. Lavelle, can he take it? And he will. The first lead for the West tonight with the and one opportunity. Oh my. So what you're saying is you disagree with the FBA union being a screen actors guild, where they train their players how to flop.
I mean, some people like to see the fur fly. I, for one, always think it's a little bit of a theatrical thing when we're coming down to it. It's an exhibition game, right? But Hamilton there ties it back up.
Oh, the lead was short-lived. Let's see if they can take it back. They had it for less than 20 seconds.
We are seeing some of the starriest of all stars going at it right now as Jesus intercepts that rebound from LeBlanc, passes it over to Jordan Terry. Huntaway dog out of, home court. One of the 3 rookies. Rowan Thane picking up the dropped ball. Tries to get around LeBlanc. Hamilton now under the court, looking to get some space. Clear block there. Now they're calling that out of bounds. Of course, the East were just trying to get a quick shot there, but I believe that's Geiler with the block. I might be wrong.
They're going to see an inbound, though, with only 1.8 seconds. That is not a lot of time to shoot. They're going to have time to get to Soren, maybe, or Thane, and someone just going to take a quick 3, not able to convert. And it was actually a Luka with the block there.
Thank you. I was about to say Jace Geiler is not even on the West, so that was my bad.
I mean, we got a mid-game trade. It happens in baseball. You get called out of the game. You get told, hey, sorry, you've been traded mid-game. Oh, and a big block by Luka again. Stopping.
Avery getting a little bit cold there. Passes over to Marlowe for the West, looking to get maybe some points.
Soren now getting called for the foul. Will send Marlowe to the line for 2. West a chance to retake another lead. 20 seconds in this game. They've had it. Let's see if they can. Oh, wow, I jinxed it already. You know what? The game's going to end 70-70. Let's just stop it here. Devani, the Alicorn, will be coming in.
Right? Ready to see the Alicorn do their stuff. And 1. So back to West being in the lead by 1 point. This is a real game now, at least as much as we can get during All-Star Week, and I love it.
Wait, you don't like
As the
50-point
East
blowouts?
Not when it comes down to that whole argument, as I mentioned earlier, about West versus East. I think it gets blown out of proportion, and you answered effectively and correctly. I'm coming down from whatever that was in that drink, I think.
Did you get that in
Just gonna
Canada? They have weird things up in Canada.
I mean, we're at Rusker Stadium, right? That's essentially just a drink that they had in one of their. It was kind of in the back storage room, you know. That's where you get your drinks, right?
I drink nice sealed water bottle. I get my own drinks. I don't trust people to give me drinks. I don't know what happens. Look, ever since Jimmy was around, I don't trust anything that gets handed to me.
The feathers are a flustered red right now, just for everyone listening in.
Avery dishing down to Angie. Oh, gets
Over
a bit of a
Graves.
I'll say she's able to get by Bukov there with a bit of physicality down low in the post. Takes the lead immediately back, and we have a back and forth game.
Yeah, the Corgi will take it up court, passing it over to Bukov, back to the Corgi, to Lassiter to Stavancic. Lots of passing here. And Lorelai Hayden now will have to pass it to Stavancic, who will miss the 3. And Hamilton over to Avery. Lots of speed there. And they will call Stavancic on that one for his 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of fouls on it. I mean, we're up to 3 on a number of players at this point. I mean, late in the 3rd quarter, not likely to see a foul out situation happen, but don't want that moniker necessarily.
I don't think you want to be the first one to be fouled out of the rookie all-star game either. So we have a few players that are in that position right now. They might opt to let somebody else on their team take over. Fox passing back to Aslan. Getting a little bit of space there from Karen Snyder, but a little bit of a difficult task at hand. Doesn't get that one. So the Raccoon will pass it deep to Geiler. And Stepan on the recovery doesn't get it in. So Rory Lassiter will bring it back up. Big center out of Oregon.
Yeah, second chance opportunity is not falling the way, but Smith with the interception. 1-on-2. Beats the defense with the and 1 and draws the foul.
And I think that might be his first points of the game tonight. Finally, with an excellent steal there, decides to take that moment. Lucky number 13 keeps the East in the lead and will get an opportunity to add to that first basket. I might be wrong about that, but as of the half, he still had no points left. Had been primarily assisting everyone else. And I was going to say, it's kind of a selfless thing to be, in that position, right? Letting everybody else shine at the All-Star game. But in that exact moment there, as Bukov takes a long 3, drains that one.
Good time for the Arctic Fox to get going. Is Thane wide open for 3, answers immediately back with one of his own.
And yeah, on that play, Smith took it all the way up to basically under the hoop. Saw that Thane had was not guarded, passed it over. And now it's 6 points. 80-74 with 3:21 left in the 3rd. As Kingsley over the Hayden over the Lassiter. Back to Lorelai for a long shot. No good.
Yeah, shot clock just fell apart on them, and they forced to take a shot that really wasn't the best. Obviously, Hayden has that range. And oh, look at this matchup. Yes, you have to come over Bukov immediately to help. It leaves Avery open, but can't convert 3.
Yeah, Avery after a hot first, I would say, 30 minutes of the game. It's been a little bit cold as of late.
And a third foul for him now. Another one up there with a 3.
Maybe using a little bit of the padding with the lead still being in the East's favor. Of course, the West caught up. That is the story of the first half. They need to get some of these extra points here, and they do for the first. And we will see Lorelei take their second here in Lorelei. Not Lorelei. You know, for funsies. Sometimes it's just fun to play with names. We've said saucepan a couple times tonight.
Yeah. And it is such a close game, honestly, with under 3 minutes left to go in this third quarter. We're on track to break 100 on both sides, so a good scoring beat from both teams. See who can keep it up, though, as perhaps some fatigue starts to slip in, both physically and mentally.
And as we see the third quarter kind of go along here, we've still got a lot of players like Wesker here. For the long two, no good there. So back to the West. Kingsley over to Ivani. Lassiter. Back to Aslan for a long 3, and that will go in. That's huge for the West, getting within 1 as we get under the 2-minute warning, quote unquote, in this third quarter.
Arsan Akayev stretching it out, getting that big 3 and putting it back within 1. Geiler answering back. Every time the West has hit a 3 to get close, the East has managed to put one up themselves to keep the distance. As Ivani, it's because we've gone from a 3-point contest to a dunk contest. Now we're back to the 3-point contest stage of the All-Star game. So let's see.
I think we... Ooh. Okay. That was Rory.
Yeah,
they're not calling foul on that.
No foul. He is all ball there. It's all out of bound.
Really good block.
Yeah, Lassiter getting the better of Petrovsky there, but plenty of time on the shot clock. Yeah, I know the whistle, sometimes you go, oh, it must be a foul. Nope. Oh, and Wesker.
Oh.
Good hustle there, but you gotta be careful. Oh, but it's a being a steal anyways.
No.
And Ivani in the fast break gets fouled on the way up. Wesker, I appreciate your hustle there, buddy, but this is a meaningless game. Please don't go diving to the floor for the ball.
It was a little messy but from both sides of the ball there. Never really had a play set up which created the runaway capability by Braganzas, but unfortunately couldn't do the layup, and I believe was still being defended there as they slowed down to try and do the layup. But now it's tied up, man. And we're under a minute of this third quarter. As Braganzas gets the intercepted ball there, passes to Taylor. We have not talked much about them tonight, but their pass, or their throw, does not go in. So Wesker, under the hoop, will get a 2 to keep the East in the lead here with about 35 seconds left of this quarter.
Yeah, Taylor hasn't had a lot of time on the floors. The screen comes in to get the West a shot there. 85 apiece. I think we're going to end this quarter tied up, honestly, if I'm pulling out my crystal ball.
Not here, which they will not. Violation of out of bounds, interestingly. He must have had his toe on the line there when he came down with the ball, so the East keep it. Yeah, Petrovsky passes to Bent. Archie making sure that they get the shooting foul there, and that will be Rory's first.
Yeah, I take it back. We're not ending tied now, as I'm predicting one free throw to be made. Not the other one, though.
Well, how rude. I'm going to tell them that you said that after the game.
Hey, Oh, well, they have a chance to prove me wrong then. And clearly I was just giving motivation to Bent. But you've seen how
All
well
right.
Bent has shot tonight.
Listen, don't get bent out of shape.
Oh, I need that drink you've tossed away.
It's gone now. The the janitor went through the building whistling, and it's at 87, 85. I don't know. They could here in the last 4 seconds here. We have an
Nope.
opportunity, but Petrovsky.
Oh, so close to the full court, half court shot. Oh, that would have been great. Petrovsky, if you
the
managed
big
to hit that.
the big really wanted to see if they could make one shot everlasting. Unfortunately, it didn't go down, but Wojciech, I approve that message.
Hey, that is what the rookie all-star game should be about, is half court shots. I want to see LeBlanc. We've seen him dunk. I want to see him hit a three tonight.
Yeah, I keep meaning to bring this topic back up, but we keep getting distracted by the play on the court as the West ties it at 87. Perimeter defense and the amount of threes we've seen tonight becomes more and more important each year as we see kind of the ball extend outwards from the hoop. These guys getting more efficient. What do you think? What are your thoughts on how some of these bigs could develop into players that effectively help teams in our league with that concept, with defense just becoming more and more of a need there?
Well, as we see Avani heading to the line for two after that steal, my roster team building has always been the mindset of, okay, in this league, we have bigs that are just big bodies that, you think of the DQs and I guess more modern terms, the Orbendorfer, the Brandon Baylor, and you have to have someone able to match up against them. But then you run into the issue of, okay, you have your Lucas that is going to pull them out to the perimeter. So you can't rely on Brandon to necessarily be able to play at the perimeter. So you almost need to have that backup bench player, that backup bench big that is that perimeter defender that can come out and come in the right situation, because you can't not, I gotta watch out for my double nose. You can't survive off of having those big bodies anymore, but you also can't give them up, because then you'll end up in situations where you're going to be bullied by the Orbendorfers of the league, trying to match up against your 220-pound center that bounces off of her when they try and go up for a dunk.
Yeah, and I think there is something to be said too about bigger players coming into this league a little bit more in the forms that we expect to see them in terms of later on in their careers. There's still a lot of ground to be made by some of these younger guards as the West here now starting to pull away. Deontay Lavelle with a couple shots there. I just think it's something that is a little bit more of a conversation to be had, especially in a game like this where we've seen a lot of different bigs make some fantastic plays, whether it be defending or taking their own shots. As Berganzas alley-oops over Stevanicic, but that won't go down. Jordan Terry bringing it back up court.
Well, I mean, you look at the West versus East right now. I mean, Jesus is not a big, I mean, he's tall, definitely, don't get me wrong, but he is more of a lanky build. I think we've seen him struggle with trying to guard Rex here tonight. So that's where I kind of come in like, okay, if you were building a team, ideally you'd want to have, even if they were on the bench, a big body that could have come in and matched up against Rex as needed. Obviously you don't want to play a worse player just because you're trying to outdo the matchup, but there are times that, hey, Rex is getting going, let's put the big body in to, upset Rex's rhythm. Don't let them get comfortable playing against Jesus. So, I mean, right now we see Avery having to match up against Luka, so obviously that's a height mismatch, but again, normally you would have the opportunity to kind of play with your roster a little bit if this was an actual team, not one that was voted in by the fans. The fans could vote in all guards for all they want. Soren can't hit that three to pull it back.
Ooh. And a fast play. Stevanic passing the Marlowe back to Luka. Giraffe. I believe it's Jesus guarding him. He's going to let the clock wind down a little bit. Over the Marlowe. Getting some space for the long two, and that goes down. Laughing Kookaburra.
A 12-4 run. The last 4 minutes. The East have gone cold here, and they need to find something.
Oh, and that was excellent footwork. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw the steal.
To get him. Interception again. I keep saying interception. They're steals. I'm football minded.
I mean, you are intercepting the ball. It is technically true, but the stat is to be a steal is down low in the post. Deontay, I think, if the West wins, which they're on track to do if they can keep this, pace going, my argument would be between LeBlanc or Lavelle for player of the game, but the East is not going to go down there. Finally, a basket there trying to end this cold spell.
As if to say,
almost tip, but the Jaguar.
Talk about the Rabbit and the Jaguar working together to compete for that potential player of the game stat mark there. As Soren, well guarded, passes over to Avery, who was on fire earlier in this game. Can't get that one down, so the Rabbit will take the ball, pass over the Jet over to Hallie Leonards, and back to Jet for a long three, no good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are seeing a pickup of pace here, and I'd like to see double team. That means someone's open. Where is it? Thane not able to get the shot off quick enough though.
Yeah, now.
Oh no, they're gonna call an illegal scream on Hamilton again, and he's upset. Thane was so open. That was their chance to get a three off. There's 6 minutes left to go in this game. 8-point differential right now.
Yeah, Hamilton's way through this game tonight has been one of many ups and downs, I would say.
Yeah, some of the sloppiness with the fouls, getting called for a charge, a couple illegal screens. I mean, I get that, it's because of timings issues. As we see a quick basket there. 18-6 run the last half a quarter.
And that's humongous if you want to make a difference here, win for your East. So you need to start doing a little bit more with the ball. And again, on Hamilton there.
Yeah, defensive
turnover.
Yeah, and I think that was perhaps on Avery a little bit because Jesus was trying to give him a screen and Avery just was having difficulty getting around the bodies that he was trying to. And the little drive to the basket. 28 points tonight for the Jaguar. We talked about Avery leading the way for the East, but I think the Jaguar has taken over for the West. I mean, I think LeBlanc is above 20 points as well, so it might be a double-double in terms of rebounds. And oh no, but the steals might be racking up those steals for the Rabbit. In transition, takes it themselves all the way at the court after the steal.
Yeah, Deontay, hasn't missed a single game this season. And I think part of that is essential in developing, your star rookie. The Excavators have to be quite happy with the performance he's putting on tonight in tandem with Rex LeBlanc. I think this matchup creates those opportunities, and you want to see your players succeed when partnered with a bunch of other players in their conference that on any other given Sunday are players that you wouldn't normally work with. So there's an element of, sportsmanship. There's an element of team, camaraderie that goes into coaching and working through challenges in a game like this. As Hamilton's taking his second from the line. No good, though. So the streak continues. We're seeing the West pull away here. It's 107-94 with about 4.5 minutes left in this game. As Lavelle, looking for some space in the paint, has to get a shot off here. Soren with the rebound, passing it up to Avery, who's gone cold. I would say Hamilton's got to get that shot down as well, and manages to do so.
Yeah, it's a bit of an inverse. The first quarter was all East, and now the West has built up the momentum. They started cold, but they're finishing hot, and for the East, it's been a hot start that's finishing kind of cold as Lavelle breaks 30 now, 18 of those coming from within the paint.
Impressive, if anything, I would say. You know, they made the adjustments after that first half, and I think just the defense there as LeBlanc breaks up another throw. and that one was broken
with the block
up.
there.
Literally just put his hand up between the shot. The ball bonked on their head, and the rest is history, man.
Oh, good block from Hamilton there, though. Really had to extend, but the Lynx able to get his big paw up and block the shot from the Rabbit. East a chance, but under 3 minutes left to go. 13-point game. They have to make baskets. They have to get stops.
And Terry gets fouled there by Leonards. So they'll go to the line. At this point, though, you know, you're just looking, I would say, to get over 100. It's always the goal in my world. Century mark is fun. And their second here, Jordan Terry, small forward, didn't quite get that one down. So Jet Harlow on the rebound there. The pass from the rebound, hands it off to Yvonne, who looks to get some space on the outside. Deontay now with the ball. 5 seconds left before the shot clock runs out. Runs under the hoop, and that will be 32 now for the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Who I would say now, at this point, might have my vote. I don't know about you, Ryan.
Well, I want to see the stats for the defense for both of them. I mean, I think, Hamilton, good steal there. I think LeBlanc has had quite a few steals as we see another tip pass there. A lot of these sloppy passes almost going the other way. And Soren sees a lane to the basket, elevates, double team. It's going to be Ivani Bragances getting called for the contact, and we'll see a quick timeout from the East, but I think they're just going to maybe make some substitutions, try and get the last, minute. Adjust who's on the floor. As Soren will go to the line for 2, good on the first.
Yeah, we've seen such great play from both sides tonight. At this point, the West will come away with it. But in my opinion, I've been very happy to see these performances kind of proliferate in ways I wasn't expecting. I didn't think this would be a defensive effort. I've seen strong defensive moves from both sides as LeBlanc there gets called as out of bounds. So the East will...
I think it was actually, LeBlanc, caught the ball, stepped out of bounds, unfortunately. You're right. Defensive effort. I mean, the number of turnovers has been wild, but we also expect that with the, players that this is essentially a pickup game just between professional athletes.
Yeah, and I think the honor of the century mark crossover goes to the man, the roller coaster man of the East, Mr. Jesus Hamilton.
I mean, it's not over till it's over, but it's pretty much over. Is Lavelle gonna just lay it up and in? As I say, if they got a stop there, they could perhaps get a 3, and then another stop, and then another 3, and then another stop, and then another 3, and then if there was still time left, but there wouldn't be time left. Avery,
if we were, actually, I guess
trying to
looking
win,
at bragging rights, Bragances rights, etc.
Oh, Matt, Marcus is taking over for tomorrow.
Well,
Speaking of,
speaking of,
wide open three, pushing us to 16. That double team coming over, good court awareness to find that open fur. And I think we're going to see shot clock wound down and a shot go up, perhaps.
yeah, you mentioned it. The All-Star week culminates in the All-Star game. This being the rookie challenge, as the East gets some charity points there for themselves, a little bit of badge of honor. That might be the last 3-point we see here. I would suspect that the West will do what they can here to run the clock down.
No, go for the disrespect. Take a shot. Do it. I command you.
That's such a strong
No.
try, but yeah, no.
I tried to, but look at the box scores. I mean, it is obviously for the East. Jesus came in. Everyone at least started getting some shots up. Hamilton 8 of 9 though overall, really led the way, but the turnovers, just 5 turnovers. But Thane, Avery also had 3 turnovers each. Those intercepted pat, as you called them, intercepted pat. Angie Graves,
Yeah,
good score off the bench.
At the end of the day, it's the rookie teams here trying their best. And we'll see some mistakes like that happen. It's what they do when they don't get those mistakes. As we check the West here, Rex LeBlanc coming up big with 26 points of their own, 3 steals, 4 blocks from Stevanicic is huge. Of course, Lavelle's 34 points, 5 assists, 15 of 21 from the floor is nothing to sneeze at. We also saw 13 points from Arsen Akayev and 4 rebounds. And Bragances with 9 points in 11 minutes. Some excellent performances. I don't know really who we proclaim as the player of the game, but I'm sure you have your thoughts on that.
That's a tough one because I was going to say, I thought LeBlanc might have had some blocks, but they did not. They had steals. They racked up a few steals. I would not argue against either of getting it. Obviously, one had more scoring than the other. The other had more, what I'm going to call contributing factors. The almost a double rebounds for Rex. But you look at the field goal percentage. I mean, neither team really struggled. The 3-point game for the West took off in that second half. 11 of 17. 27 points off turnovers.
And 7 steals.
11 steals.
So
7 blocks.
7 steals in the second half.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna say 11 steals overall, 7 blocks. The West just came out crazy. I mean, the bench for the East was slightly better. But no, it was a good game overall. I was really worried in the first quarter, seeing how much the East was up by, that we were gonna have a complete blowout. But the West fought back from a 20-point deficit and ended up winning by 12 points.
Yeah, and while I would say there would be some sad faces in the audience seeing the 3 Queens rookies not win on home turf, they performed valiantly in that first half. So if you look at it that way, both sides of the conference got some time to shine tonight. And the final score being the way it is, 116 to 104, with the West coming out on top, really is a reflection of just how strong this rookie class was this year.
Yeah, I mean, above 50% shooting for both of them. It was a great game. Any final thoughts before we close it off for the night?
Don't tap the sparkling water from the back room. That is my final thought tonight. And perhaps defense, like Rex and Deontay, I see you. I'll be watching from home the rest of this season. And as your careers grow, excellent effort by Avery. Those 3 players, I was really impressed tonight by everyone, honestly.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for having me, Ryan.
Yep. Thank you for joining me, Matt Lewis. I've been Ryan Eastman, and you all have been lovely. And we'll see you tomorrow for the All-Star game, the final event of this All-Star week, as then we dive into the final push towards the playoff chase. Have a good night, everyone.